JonBenét Ramsey, a 6-year-old beauty queen, captured the hearts of America with her radiant smile and charming presence. But on Christmas night in 1996, the Ramsey family's world was shattered. The festive decorations and the joy of the holiday season turned into an unimaginable nightmare. In the early hours of December 26th, JonBenét's parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, discovered their daughter missing from her bed. Panic set in as they found a ransom note demanding $118,000 for her safe return. Just hours later, the unthinkable happened. JonBenét's lifeless body was discovered in the basement of their Boulder, Colorado home, sparking one of the most infamous and controversial murder investigations in American history. The media frenzy was immediate and relentless. News outlets from around the world descended upon the quiet neighborhood, turning the Ramsey family into the subject of intense scrutiny and speculation. The once private lives of John, Patsy, and JonBenét's older brother, Burke, were laid bare for all to see. As investigators began piecing together the events of that tragic night, questions arose that would haunt the case for decades. Who could have committed such a heinous act? Was it an intruder, or was someone within the family responsible? The mystery of JonBenét Ramsey's death remains unsolved, leaving a legacy of heartache and unanswered questions. As dawn broke on December 26, 1996, the Ramsey household in Boulder, Colorado, became the epicenter of a chilling mystery. The once festive home now stood as a crime scene, shrouded in an eerie silence. JonBenét's lifeless body was found in the basement, a stark contrast to the holiday cheer that had filled the house just hours before. The discovery of a ransom note added a layer of complexity to the unfolding tragedy. The note, an unusual 3-page letter, demanded $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return, a sum curiously close to John Ramsey's recent bonus. The note's length and detail puzzled investigators, raising suspicions about its authenticity and origin. The initial response from the Boulder Police Department was far from flawless. The crime scene was not properly secured, allowing family members and friends to move freely throughout the house, potentially contaminating crucial evidence. This series of missteps marred the early stages of the investigation and drew intense criticism from both the public and the media. As investigators sifted through the chaotic scene, early theories began to emerge. Some believed the crime was the work of an unknown intruder, pointing to a broken basement window as a possible entry point. Others speculated about the involvement of someone within the Ramsey household, given the peculiarities of the ransom note and the family's behavior. The media coverage was immediate and relentless, turning the Ramsey family into unwilling celebrities. News outlets from around the world descended upon the quiet neighborhood, broadcasting every new development and fueling public fascination with the case. The once private lives of John, Patsy, and Burke Ramsey were laid bare, scrutinized under a microscope of suspicion and speculation. In these early days, the foundation was laid for a mystery that would captivate and confound for decades to come. The tragic death of JonBenét Ramsey was not just a local tragedy, it became a national obsession, filled with twists, turns, and unanswered questions. As the investigation progressed, the lines between fact and fiction began to blur, deepening the enigma surrounding that fateful Christmas night. As we continue to unravel the mystery surrounding JonBenét Ramsey's tragic death, one of the most perplexing pieces of evidence remains the ransom note. Found on the staircase inside the Ramsey home, this unusual 3-page letter has been the subject of intense scrutiny and debate. The note demanded $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return, a sum that closely matched John Ramsey's recent bonus. This peculiar detail immediately raised eyebrows among investigators. Why such an exact amount? Was it a coincidence, or did the writer have intimate knowledge of the Ramsey family's finances? Experts have pointed out the unusual length and detail of the ransom note. At 3 pages, it is far longer than typical ransom notes, which are usually brief and to the point. The note contained specific instructions and threats, written in a tone that some experts have described as theatrical. This has led to speculation that the note was staged to mislead investigators. handwriting analysis yielded inconclusive results. While some experts believe the handwriting bore similarities to Patsy Ramsey's, others argue that the differences are too significant to draw a definitive conclusion. The language and phrasing of the note have also been analyzed, with some experts suggesting that it was written by someone trying to imitate a kidnapping scenario. The note's peculiarities don't end there. It was written on paper from a notepad found inside the Ramsey home, using a pen that also belonged to the family. This suggests that the writer had ample time to compose the letter, which is unusual in a genuine kidnapping situation. So, what are we to make of this enigmatic ransom note? Is it a key clue that can unlock the mystery of JonBenét's death? Or is it a carefully crafted distraction designed to throw investigators off the trail? The true significance of the ransom note remains one of the most debated aspects of this case, adding yet another layer of complexity to an already baffling mystery. As we delve deeper, we must consider all possibilities. Could the note have been written by an intruder who spent time inside the house? Or was it a calculated move by someone within the Ramsey household? The answers remain elusive, but the quest for the truth continues. As we delve deeper into the case, we must confront the unsettling theories that implicate those closest to JonBenét, her own family. The suspicion that fell on JonBenét's parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, and her brother Burke, has been a focal point of this investigation. John and Patsy Ramsey, affluent and well-respected, found themselves under an intense spotlight. Their behavior in the immediate aftermath of JonBenét's death raised many questions. Patsy was the one who discovered the ransom note and made the frantic 911 call. But to some, her demeanor seemed inconsistent with that of a distraught mother. Was she hiding something, or was her reaction simply a manifestation of shock and grief? John Ramsey, a successful businessman, also came under scrutiny. His decision to fly to Atlanta just days after JonBenét's death struck some as suspicious. Critics argued that his actions were those of a man with something to hide. However, others pointed out that grief affects people in unpredictable ways, and that his actions could have been driven by an overwhelming desire to protect his surviving family. Then there's Burke Ramsey, JonBenét's older brother. At the time of her death, Burke was only 9 years old. Initially shielded from the public eye, Burke's potential involvement has been a subject of much speculation. Some theories suggest that JonBenét's death was an accident, perhaps the result of sibling rivalry gone horribly wrong, and that the parents orchestrated a cover-up to protect their son. The family dynamics within the Ramsey household have been examined extensively. The pressure of maintaining a perfect public image, combined with the stress of JonBenét's pageant career, created a unique environment. Could these factors have contributed to a tragic accident, or even a premeditated act? Theories abound, but concrete evidence remains elusive. In the years following JonBenét's death, the Ramseys faced relentless media scrutiny and public judgment. The release of their interviews, both on television and with law enforcement, only fueled the fire. While some see inconsistencies and contradictions, others view these as the natural responses of a family in crisis. Despite the lack of definitive proof, the shadow of suspicion has never fully lifted. The Ramseys' legal battles and public statements have kept the debate alive, with each new revelation sparking fresh controversy. Whether viewed as grieving parents or potential culprits, John and Patsy Ramsey's involvement remains one of the most polarizing aspects of this case. As we continue to explore the twists and turns of the JonBenét Ramsey mystery, we must consider all possibilities. Was this a case of an unsolved murder, or is there a chilling secret hidden within the family? The quest for the truth is far from over. As we navigate the labyrinthine twists of the JonBenét Ramsey case, we must also consider theories that extend beyond the family. Could an intruder or stranger have been responsible for this heinous act? This angle opens up a whole new realm of possibilities and complexities. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence supporting the intruder theory is the broken basement window. This window, found ajar, could have provided a point of entry for an unknown assailant. Despite this, critics argue that the condition of the window and the surrounding cobwebs suggest it may not have been used recently. Was this a genuine point of entry, or a red herring designed to mislead investigators? Adding to the mystery is the DNA evidence. Unidentified male DNA was found on JonBenét's clothing, leading some to believe in the presence of an outsider. DNA technology has advanced significantly since 1996, and yet, this crucial clue has not led to a definitive suspect. Could this DNA belong to the killer, or is it an innocent transfer from someone unrelated to the crime? Footprints found near the crime scene also add weight to the intruder theory. Investigators discovered an unidentified footprint in the basement where JonBenét was found. Despite extensive efforts, this footprint has never been matched to any known individual. Does this point to an unknown intruder, or is it another piece of the puzzle that doesn't quite fit? Beyond the physical evidence, we must consider other possible suspects. Over the years, several known criminals have been linked to the case. One such individual was Gary Oliva, a convicted pedophile who lived in Boulder at the time of JonBenét's death. His disturbing criminal history and proximity to the Ramsey home made him a person of interest. However, despite intense scrutiny, no conclusive evidence has tied him to the crime. Another suspect, John Mark Carr, confessed to the murder in 2006. His detailed account of the events seemed convincing at first, but DNA evidence ultimately ruled him out. Carr's false confession only added to the confusion and controversy surrounding the case. Forensic evidence plays a crucial role in either supporting or contradicting the intruder theory. While the unidentified DNA and footprints suggest an outsider, other forensic findings complicate the narrative. The ransom note, for instance, was written on paper from inside the Ramsey home, using a pen that belonged to the family. This has led some experts to argue that the note was staged, pointing away from an intruder and back towards the household. As we piece together these fragments of evidence, the intruder theory remains both compelling and contentious. Could an unknown assailant have slipped into the Ramsey home undetected? Or is this theory a diversion from the true culprit? In the days and weeks following JonBenét Ramsey's tragic death, the media descended upon Boulder, Colorado, with an intensity seldom seen before. The case quickly became a media sensation, capturing headlines across the nation and around the world. The public was hungry for details, and the media was more than willing to provide them. The role the media played in shaping public perception cannot be overstated. From the outset, the press coverage was relentless and often speculative. News outlets were eager to break new information, sometimes at the expense of accuracy. This eagerness led to a flood of rumors and half-truths that muddied the waters of the investigation. The Ramsey family found themselves under a microscope, with every action and statement scrutinized by an insatiable public. How did this media spectacle affect the investigation? Some argue that the intense media scrutiny compromised the integrity of the investigation. The constant barrage of news stories and theories created a pressure cooker environment for law enforcement. Investigators were not only trying to solve a complex case, but were also navigating the court of public opinion. This dual pressure may have led to critical mistakes and oversights in the handling of evidence and suspects. The media frenzy also had a lasting impact on public opinion. Over the years, the portrayal of the Ramsey family in the media has swung between sympathetic and suspicious. Early on, many were quick to judge the Ramseys, fueled by sensational headlines and speculative reporting. As time passed, some of these initial perceptions have softened, but the shadow of doubt has never fully lifted. Even decades later, the case of JonBenét Ramsey continues to captivate the public. Documentaries, books, and news specials keep the story alive, ensuring that it remains a topic of discussion and debate. The constant attention has kept the case in the public eye, but it has also made it difficult to separate fact from fiction. The media's role in the JonBenét Ramsey case serves as a stark reminder of the power and responsibility that comes with reporting. In the quest for truth and justice, the media can be both an ally and an adversary. As we continue to seek answers, it's crucial to remember the impact that media speculation can have on real lives and real investigations. In the world of criminal investigations, forensic science often holds the key to unlocking the truth. The JonBenét Ramsey case is no exception. From the very beginning, DNA evidence was seen as a potential breakthrough in solving this tragic mystery. However, the journey of forensic analysis in this case has been anything but straightforward. The initial handling of the crime scene raised significant concerns. Critical evidence was compromised, and the chaotic environment made it difficult to piece together a clear narrative. The basement window, through which an intruder might have entered, was left unsecured. The ransom note, a crucial piece of evidence, was handled by multiple people before being properly analyzed. These early missteps created a challenging environment for forensic experts. Despite these challenges, advancements in DNA technology have provided some hope. In 1996, DNA testing was still in its relative infancy. The initial analysis of the evidence yielded inconclusive results, leaving investigators frustrated. However, as technology progressed, new methods of DNA analysis emerged, offering fresh opportunities to revisit the evidence. One of the most significant developments came in 2008, when touch DNA analysis was applied to the case. This advanced technique allowed forensic scientists to extract DNA profiles from the surface of JonBenét's clothing. The results identified unknown male DNA, reigniting the possibility of an intruder. Yet, this breakthrough also brought its own set of confusions. The DNA did not match any known suspects, leaving investigators with more questions than answers. Today, forensic science continues to evolve, and new technologies offer the potential for even more precise analysis. Techniques such as next-generation sequencing and advanced genetic genealogy could provide further insights into the case. These methods have revolutionized cold case investigations, leading to the resolution of cases that were once thought unsolvable. As we look to the future, the hope remains that these advancements will finally bring clarity to the JonBenét Ramsey case. The quest for justice is ongoing, and with each new technological breakthrough, the possibility of uncovering the truth grows stronger. Will the answers lie in the DNA evidence, or will the mystery continue to elude us? As we navigate the labyrinthine corridors of the JonBenét Ramsey case, we encounter a myriad of theories, each more compelling and controversial than the last. One of the most debated theories centers around potential family involvement. Some experts point to the ransom note, which was unusually long and detailed, suggesting it may have been staged. Handwriting analysis has yielded inconclusive results, but many believe the note was written by someone within the household. The behavior of JonBenét's parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, has also come under intense scrutiny. Their actions in the immediate aftermath of the crime and their subsequent interactions with law enforcement have raised suspicions. Could the Ramseys have orchestrated an elaborate cover-up to protect themselves or another family member? On the other hand, the intruder theory presents a chilling alternative. Proponents of this theory highlight the basement window, which could have served as a point of entry. The presence of unidentified male DNA on JonBenét's clothing adds weight to this hypothesis. Some investigators believe that an unknown assailant broke into the Ramsey home and committed the heinous act, leaving behind crucial DNA evidence that has yet to be matched to any known suspect. There are also other, less prominent theories that have emerged over the years. Some speculate that the crime could have been committed by someone close to the family, but not a direct member, such as a friend or acquaintance. Others propose that the murder could be linked to the darker aspects of the child beauty pageant industry, which JonBenet was a part of. Experts, investigators, and analysts have spent countless hours evaluating these theories, each presenting their own set of arguments. Some believe the family involvement theory is the most plausible, citing behavioral and circumstantial evidence. Others argue that the intruder theory cannot be dismissed, especially given the DNA findings. As we evaluate these theories, it's important to consider the evidence, or lack thereof, supporting each one. The truth remains elusive, hidden beneath layers of speculation and incomplete information. Which theory do you find most convincing? Is there a piece of evidence that tips the scales for you? Why has the JonBenét Ramsey case remained unsolved for so long? Despite the extensive investigations, numerous theories, and the relentless pursuit of justice, the mystery endures. Several factors have contributed to the ongoing enigma surrounding JonBenét's tragic death. First and foremost, the initial police response was fraught with critical missteps. The Boulder Police Department faced intense scrutiny for their handling of the case right from the start. The crime scene was not properly secured, allowing potential contamination of evidence. Key areas of the house were not immediately searched, and crucial time was lost. This early mishandling set the stage for a complicated and, some argue, compromised investigation. The legal system also played a role in the case's stagnation. The grand jury proceedings, which could have brought charges against the Ramseys, ended without an indictment due to insufficient evidence. The legal complexities and high-profile nature of the case meant that every move was heavily scrutinized, adding layers of difficulty to an already challenging situation. A significant hurdle has been the lack of concrete evidence. While there are numerous clues, such as the ransom note, the DNA findings, and the behavioral patterns of those involved, none have provided definitive answers. The DNA evidence, in particular, has been a double-edged sword. While it suggests the presence of an unidentified male, it has not led to a conclusive match, leaving investigators in a perpetual state of uncertainty. Media pressure has also played a substantial role in the case remaining unsolved. The sensational coverage created a public frenzy, with every detail analyzed and debated in the court of public opinion. This intense scrutiny influenced the investigation, often diverting attention away from objective analysis and toward speculative theories. The media circus surrounding the case has, at times, overshadowed the pursuit of truth, complicating efforts to find definitive answers. The passage of time has further muddied the waters. Memories fade, witnesses become harder to locate, and the trail of evidence grows colder with each passing year. The sheer volume of information, combined with the evolving nature of forensic science, means that new leads are often obscured by the weight of past investigations. As we reflect on the myriad challenges that have kept this case unsolved, it's clear that the path to the truth is fraught with obstacles. From early investigative errors to the limitations of forensic technology and the overwhelming influence of the media, the JonBenét Ramsey case remains one of the most perplexing mysteries of our time. The JonBenét Ramsey case, a haunting enigma that has left an indelible mark on pop culture, media, and law enforcement. As we look back, it's clear that JonBenét's tragic story has transcended the confines of a mere criminal investigation, becoming a cultural phenomenon that continues to capture the public's imagination. From the moment the news broke, the media frenzy was unprecedented. JonBenét's image became iconic, her face splashed across newspapers, magazines, and television screens. This relentless coverage not only turned her into a household name, but also sparked a broader conversation about the ethics of media sensationalism. The public's insatiable curiosity led to a plethora of documentaries, books, and even fictional adaptations, each attempting to unravel the mystery or offer new perspectives. The impact on the Ramsey family has been profound. John and Patsy Ramsey, thrust into the spotlight, faced intense public scrutiny and suspicion. Their lives were irrevocably changed, marked by a relentless quest for justice and a constant battle to clear their names. The weight of public opinion, often swayed by sensationalist media portrayals, added an additional layer of suffering to their already unimaginable grief. The case not only shattered their sense of normalcy, but also forced them to navigate a world where every action and statement was dissected and analyzed. Law enforcement, too, felt the ripple effects. The case exposed significant flaws in investigative procedures and prompted a reevaluation of how such high-profile cases are handled. The initial missteps by the Boulder Police Department served as a cautionary tale, leading to changes in crime scene management and evidence handling protocols. The lessons learned from the JonBenét Ramsey case have informed subsequent investigations, ensuring that future cases are approached with greater precision and care. Public opinion has been deeply divided, with countless theories and debates continuing to this day. The case has become a touchstone for discussions about justice, media influence, and the complexities of human behavior. It has inspired a new generation of true crime enthusiasts, armchair detectives, and professional investigators, each driven by the desire to uncover the truth. The legacy of JonBenét Ramsey is a multifaceted one, touching upon issues of media ethics, family tragedy, and the pursuit of justice. Her story remains a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring quest for answers in the face of seemingly insurmountable mystery. As we reach the end of our journey through the tragic and mystifying case of JonBenét Ramsey, we're left with more questions than answers. The case has been a labyrinth of clues, missteps, and endless theories. From the initial botched investigation to the media frenzy that followed, every aspect of this case has been dissected and debated. Key points to remember: the perplexing ransom note, the conflicting DNA evidence, the behavior of the Ramsey family, and the possibility of an intruder. Each of these elements has contributed to the enduring mystery that surrounds JonBenét's death. But the ultimate question remains: will the JonBenét Ramsey case ever be solved? Despite the years of investigations, the countless theories, and the advances in forensic technology, the truth continues to elude us. We may never know what truly happened on that fateful Christmas night in 1996. The case remains a haunting reminder of the complexities and imperfections of our justice system. What do you think? Could there be a crucial piece of evidence that has been overlooked, or is the truth simply too elusive to be uncovered? We invite you to share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and continue the quest for answers. Subscribe to our channel for more in-depth explorations of true crime mysteries. Together, we can keep searching for the truth.